Wow, Biden has tested positive and had to cancel his speech today. Positive for what? He got COVID? Biden says he'd reevaluate campaign if medical condition emerged. No f***ing way, dude. This happened like earlier today. Yo, you think it's God? Do you think this is a way out, boys? Biden has COVID? I mean, he's dead. Oh my God. Oh my God. President Biden has just tested positive for COVID. Oh my God. I'm posting. I had to do it to him. I said, it seems like the Lord Almighty is evening the score this time around. Dude, anyone that says canceled is so wrong. COVID literally let Biden win. COVID gave Biden the victory. Not only did COVID give Biden the victory, Trump got COVID right before the election. Now Biden's like, I'm not dropping. Unless the Lord Almighty tells me I'm dropping, I'm not dropping. And now the Lord Almighty has spoken. 3 days ago, Donald Trump dodged a bullet, and I'm not using that as a regular colloquialism, as a phrase. I'm saying he literally dodged a bullet by like 5 centimeters. Call me Al Pacino, the way life is a game of inches. Donald Trump was too busy looking at the Hispanics are doing chart in the right moment that he grazed his ear, grazed the mother ear. Joe Biden, after saying, the Lord Almighty alone can take me down. If he tells me I can't run, I'll stop running. Kamala sneaking COVID blankets into his bedroom. Kamala Harris behaving like the Pilgrims did. Kamala Harris wrapping Joe Biden up, singing him bedtime lullabies, wrapping him up in COVID blankies. Now, what's really interesting is, like I said, this morning, Biden said he would consider dropping out of the race if a medical condition was diagnosed by doctors. Now that medical condition has come, will he survive this as well? I am using a double entendre. I'm using the double entendre of will he survive COVID because he's that old. The age that he got COVID now is like pretty consequential, but will he also survive claiming that he would consider dropping out? And then if he does survive COVID at this point, as I'm saying if, not when, if he survives COVID, will he actually drop out? Second gentleman Doug Emhoff tests positive for COVID, July 7th. Bro, that's crazy. This mother was running around like the Grim Reaper, dude. Are you serious? This is a coup d'etat, ladies and gentlemen. This is a coup d'etat. This is why I can't trust the bitch. Ain't nothing was that funny ever. Excuse me, nice bathroom. Maybe this was when they planned the attempt. Okay, new big brain conspiracy time. Kamala Harris sends out the hitter, okay, to spin the block, and also simultaneously is giving COVID by way of Douglas Emhoff to the current president, taking out both at the same time. Only Kamala remains. For those of you asking, why no crab dance for Joe Biden getting COVID? Sometimes it's not appropriate to celebrate too early. Do with that information what you will. Maybe I'm saying celebrate his swift recovery. I might be doing that. Maybe I'm saying that. Maybe I'm praying for his swift recovery, you know? I pray for a lot of things on a daily basis. I've gotten significantly more godly.
I was just on the phone with President Biden, and he shared his deep disappointment at not being able to join us this afternoon.
Let's join our hands in prayer, chat.
The president has been at many events, as we all know, and he just tested positive for COVID. So, of course, we understand that he needs to take the precautions that have been recommended, and he did not obviously want to put anybody at risk. He said to tell my folks that we're not going to get rid of him that quickly. We're going to have a chance to hear from him in the future directly. He's just really sorry he couldn't be with us, and obviously we share that disappointment, but we've seen how COVID has still impacted many in our community still, and we understand that he needs to take the steps he needs to take to not just protect himself, but to protect all of us. So we appreciate very much his wanting to have been here. I had a great introduction for him, reminding us of all the actions that he's
people
taken
age 65 and older.
on behalf of our community and the way that they have helped advance.
What age range die from COVID?
Well, we're just disappointed we won't hear from him directly today, but what we as elected...
What are 80 plus. Number of cases. What about multiple infections? Joe Biden has gotten COVID before. 38.4%. That's in California. It's 10%. It's like 300,000 cases, 38% of all deaths is in California is COVID. It's an 8% chance. 38% references. Yeah, I get it. I'm saying 38% is the percentage of deaths. Dude, if Biden dies to COVID after Trump survives the shooting, conservatives will literally come so hard that all the red states will be flooded. Careful what you wish for. Oh, God. They'll say he got like 1 million boosters too, and that like boosters don't work. You know, way the RNC isn't going to make a joke about this and destroy any goodwill they gain from Trump being shot. It would be so hard for Donald Trump to hold it back. He might hit him with one of these.
She just died? Wow. I didn't know that. I just, you're telling me now for the first time. She led an amazing life. What else can you say? She was an amazing woman. Whether you agreed or not, she was an amazing woman who led an amazing life. I'm actually sad to hear that. I am sad to hear that.
I think this is probably one of the greatest political clips of all time. It has its built-in soundtrack. Like, it has it all. Genuinely, one of the greatest political clips of all time. So iconic. I've never forgotten about that clip. It lives in my mind all the time. That's why I brought it up immediately. Statement from Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre on Biden testing positive for COVID-19. Dude, what is going on right now, dude? This is boulders after boulders, daggers after daggers. Told you, motherfucker. I said, most boring election of our lifetime, but has the capacity to become the most interesting. I told you, motherfucker. Yeah, call it Jovid. It's Jover because he's got Jovid. Statement from Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre earlier today following his recent event in Las Vegas. President Biden tested positive for COVID-19. He's vaccinated and boosted, and he's experiencing mild symptoms. He'll be returning to Delaware where he will self-isolate and will continue to carry out all of his duties fully during that time. The White House will provide regular updates on the president's status as he continues to carry out the full duties of the office while in isolation. I wanted to try and say this before. Other people say it seriously, but it's probably too late already. Biden is faking COVID as a pretext to step aside. He tested positive for COVID literally like 4 hours after he said he would drop out if he had a medical emergency. And it also happens to perfectly correspond with post RNC. He said he would drop out and reevaluate campaign if medical condition emerged. Article comes out. He gets COVID. It's happening right as the RNC is like coming to a close. You know, people say the NBA is scripted, but this is like WWE levels of scripting. Yeah, remember when Biden said this? Only the Lord Almighty can convince me to quit. That's why I tweeted what I tweeted. That's why I say it seems like Lord Almighty is evening the score this time around. That's what that was a reference to. Him saying only the Lord Almighty can take me out of this race. Someone in the chat said, he said he ended the pandemic, but the pandemic about to end him. I'm so cynical that I think there's credence to the conspiracy theories in the chat about like Biden using this as an opportunity to push the conversations about him being replaced even further. Biden just tested positive for COVID. Polymarket says earlier today he said he'd consider dropping out. Odds he drops out shot up to 66%. Nate Silver comes out, says big swing in the market. Although I have to admit my first reaction was the White House would just use this as another excuse to run out the clock. Not fair to talk about him dropping out when he has COVID and can't defend himself. He has to maintain a life schedule, etc. Like everyone is thinking the same. You know, it's weird times when I am in agreement with Nate Bronze, dude. Nate Poo-Poo Caca over here. That's craziness. That's wild. But it is where we're at now. Holy moly.